Welcome to ReginaldESQ. I'm Underhook, and this is my review of the Tier 8 Japanese medium tank, the STA-1. So, is it any good? Yes, it's pretty good. It's a vast improvement over its predecessor, the Chi-Ri, and it's not a bad tank. It's not fantastic, but it's not bad. I'll get into the review. It has 1,450 hit points, which is about average for a Tier 8 medium. Weighs from 34 to 38 tons, which is on the light side, so be careful who you ram. The 570 horsepower from the engine and a speed limit of 45. Now that speed limit is a little slow for a Tier 8 medium. Most of them do around 50. However, well, there is one Tier 8 medium that's slower, and that's the Centurion with about 40, but it's on the slow side. Traverse speed, however, is very good and is up amongst the top, as is the turret traverse of 42 is also up amongst the top. That's quite good. The view range is pretty much smack on average, and the signal range is the best of all the Tier 8 mediums. So it's a very, very good signal range at 750, which is pretty huge. What else can we tell you about the tank? I'll get into the armor a little bit later. We'll go into Tank Inspector to have a look at that. The gun depression on this tank is 10 degrees, which is of course very good. It enables it to fight on hills very well. A lot of the Tier 8 mediums do have about 10 degrees of gun depression, but there are a few that don't, so it's up there with the best. The only thing is, on this tank, the gun elevation is terrible and is the worst of all of the Tier 8 tanks. It only has 13 degrees of elevation, which is really, really poor. So when you need to shoot up at somebody who's on a ridge line, if you're too close, it can be quite difficult. And also, if you're going downhill and you need to shoot at someone who's not, who's a bit further out, or who's on the other side of a valley or something, it can be a bit of a problem. The maneuverability of the tank does allow you normally to get to a different terrain to fight, but it is, I have been caught out a couple of times with the elevation. But that said, the depression's alright. Now, great thing about this tank, I'm really wrapped. Finally, look, the armor is still crap, but the mantlet is pretty good, and you will bounce shots off the mantlet, and I'll talk more about that later, but it does actually make it much more effective at fighting on hills than the previous model Japanese mediums were. Now, I've spoken about that. Oh, the camouflage. Okay, camouflage is a heck of a lot better than it was on the Chi-Ri. It's about average for its. Actually, it's probably on the upper side of the camouflage for a Tier 8 medium. The only, if you ignore the Object 416, which has insanely good camouflage, then this tank is on the upper range of camouflage for the mediums. Even though it's still a fairly big tank, but it's pretty good. The only thing I really don't like is this gun turret on the top here on the roof. It's very distinctive, and when you're trying to hide behind a hill, it's kind of, people can kind of see the outline. They can't shoot, it doesn't do any damage, but it just lets them know where you are, which is a bit of a pain. It does have this cupola as well, but yeah. There's a few weaknesses on the armor, but we'll go into that in a minute. I might actually now just talk about the research and the grind and the gun and all that. So I'll just switch into that. Now, the standard gun you get is bloody awful. So it only has 155 penetration, even though it does 240 damage. I decided straight away, I had a bit of free experience, and I thought, I'm not going through another Japanese tank with terrible penetration. So I, straight away, without even playing a game, I just did free research on the turret and free researched this gun, the top gun. So you can see this gun here, I haven't even researched it, let alone bought it. So I just went straight for this gun, and I'll go into it. Now, just to let you know, the turret is 17,000 research cost, and the top gun is a 41,000 research cost. So I spent, what, 58,000 free experience to get up there. I've been saving it for a while. I've still got 33,000 left. So yeah, it is a great gun though. 90mm gun, has a rate of fire of 8 rounds per minute, which is quite good. Has a penetration of 218, which is truly excellent for a Tier 8 medium. So there's not a lot of tanks. I mean, look, there's still a lot of Tier 9, 10 tanks you'll have trouble with. But, I mean, even in a Tier 10 tank, there's Tier 10 tanks you have trouble with. So, but it is very good. Very good penetration. And the damage of 240 is, look, not bad. I wish I had more, but you always wish you had more. Generally speaking, though, when they give you more penetration, more damage, they reduce your accuracy or something like that. So, you know, it's okay. I'm quite happy with it. With premium ammo, you can get 275 penetration, which is right up there, which is really good penetration. I hardly ever use premium, and I didn't really feel very often like I needed to. I mean, it was only on things like T95s that I felt like using it, but I didn't, because what's the point on a T95 on the front anyway? 0.36 accuracy is okay, not bad. Great at medium range, really good at medium range. At long range, you start to get a few misses, but it's not bad. Aiming time of 2.3 is alright, not bad. Not great, but not terrible either. So the other thing is you've just got one radio, one engine, and one set of tracks. The tracks cost you 15,500, the engine 16,000, and the radio 9,500. The engine, look, yeah, it's alright. It has a very reduced rate of catching fire of 12%, but I'll talk a little bit about that shortly. Actually, I'll talk about it now. The module damage to this tank is very bad. Now, your engine with only a 12% chance of catching fire is good, but your fuel tanks catch fire instead. Module damage on this tank is horrific, as it is with most of the mediums, of the Japanese mediums, but this one's really bad. I mean, people just shooting you through the front causes you to catch fire a lot, and frequent damage to your ammo rack. Like, you don't get ammo racked, but your ammo rack gets damaged a lot. And with a gun that you know, doesn't do a lot of damage, you've got to keep the gun firing if you've got any chance of doing well. So you have to repair it. And so, you know, almost every time you get hit, well, that's an exaggeration. Every game that you get hit, say, more than once, you'll probably be ammo racked. Your loader gets killed fairly often. The gun gets damaged a lot. You catch fire a lot, and the turret is damaged a lot. So, yeah, frequently. So, you know, and fuel tanks get hit a lot, which is why you catch fire. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just quickly show you a little couple of snippets of module damage so that you know I'm not making it up. Okay, as we can see, our engine's been hit, and there's the shot straight through the upper plate. So the engine, it shows on the picture there, is being at the rear. Now the fuel tanks have gone. Everything else is gone as well. Next one.
We didn't even scratch them.
Okay, we've been hit there. And so it's taken out our engine. And we're on fire, and it's also taken out our track, so maybe it passed right through and came out the tracks on the other side somewhere.
The engine is damaged. Ammo storage is hit.
So as you can see, getting hit, that was in the lower plate. So getting hit anywhere in the lower plate or the upper plate hits your engine and sets you on fire. So I spoke a little bit that I think the tank's not the fastest. It does lack a little bit of power as well. It has a very good reverse speed though of 20 kilometers, which is good. But look, it also, at high speed, it doesn't seem to turn very well. It turns well at low speed. Once you start moving fast, it really just doesn't turn that well. Still though, it is fairly maneuverable, and I think on the Chi-Ri I did a test of can it outmaneuver a T28. Well, the same sort of thing is a T30, which is the Tier 8 version of a T28, and this is the Tier 8 version of a Chi-Ri, I guess, the next tank along. So let's see if this can outmaneuver a T30. Now T30 only has a slow turret traverse as well of about 18, but it does have a much better speed. It's at 35 km an hour tank destroyer. So let's see if it can outmaneuver that. Okay, my team has collapsed, and I'm trying to hold the line, stop them getting to our base. Not much else I can do. Ouch, that hurt. A42 from the T30. Can't take another one of those hits, but I've got to stop him, and I'm going to try and use my maneuverability because I know more tanks are coming and I haven't got time.
Critical hit.
Unfortunately, that bounced. Or critical hit. Oh, we tracked him.
Penetration.
Now, fortunately, another tank has joined the battle. There's another tank behind me. So,
Critical hit.
fortunately, that didn't penetrate. And we get hit by the Panther, so we're nearly dead. But you can see it does maneuver quite well around the tank. That's not bad.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
So as you can see, a lot better than the Chi-Ri. It can actually outmaneuver other tanks. Now, you have trouble though trying to outmaneuver other mediums and light tanks, but against heavy tanks like that, you can do okay. What I wanted to get into now was we'll go into Tank Inspector, have a look at the armor, and then we'll go into some gameplay. Now, what I've got for you is one game where I do a fair bit of damage, and it gives you a good look at how the tank can perform when it's going well. And in that game, only the gun is upgraded, but I haven't got the nothing else on the tank is upgraded. It's only the gun. The game after that I'll show you is a tier 9, it's a tier 10 game, which has got quite a few tier 10s and tier 9s in it. I don't do as well in that game, but it gives you an idea of how the tank performs against more heavily armoured tanks. Alright, so let's go to Tank Inspector. So here we are in Tank Inspector. There's the tank there in all its glory. Now this tank it has terrible armour, just like the others, except the one thing it does have is this mantlet. And the mantlet is actually pretty good, and you will bounce shots off the mantlet, and I like it because it's quite wide, so it takes up a fair bit of the front of the tank. So if you are hull down, just popping over a hill, it has saved me a number of times. I've had sometimes bounced 2 or 3 shots in a row off it. You still get, you're still easy to penetrate, but if they hit the mantlet, it does save you sometimes, but more by chance than good management, because if they hit above it or below it, you'll still get penetrated. Let's have a look at the armour values anyway. So as you can see, this area I'm highlighting here is only 45mm thick, that front upper plate, which is absolutely terrible. Anybody can penetrate that. The lower plate is 50mm thick. Absolutely terrible. No one's going to have any trouble penetrating that at the front. On the side here, we have the actual hull area here is only 35mm thick. This area here is only 30mm thick. The red area is 60mm thick. Still not enough. And here it's 40mm thick. So it's quite a weird layout of different thicknesses of armour, but all of them are bad. 20mm at the back, 25mm at the upper back, and the back of the turret's 35mm. I don't know why they bothered really. The cupola, you can see, is actually 60mm thick, even at the top it's 60, so they've put a bit of strengthening in there. And the mid part of the cupola here is only 40mm thick, and that's the part you can access from here. So if you are hull down, trying to hide, anything here they can shoot into is pretty easy. It's going to hit you. And if they shoot on top of your turret here, it's only 40mm thick, they're going to get you. However, as I said, the mantlet's pretty good. So this pink area here, we can see we've got 124mm of armour, so finally we've got some reasonable armour. If I move it out to the side here, it now starts to overlay the armour underneath. So we've got 124 over 70, which is pretty good. That's that's 194mm. So that's quite good. And the purpley bits up here, if I go to the side, the edge here, I've got the same thing, I've got 40mm over 90, but if I move inwards, hang on, here say, it's nothing behind it. It's the same here. If you look close to the gun, I've got 124mm but nothing behind it. If I move away from the gun, let's keep moving, here, all of a sudden here now we get the armour behind it. But this middle section is just the mantlet, so that's more easily penetrated. And same down here, it's only the 90, oh there you're right, but there you're not. It's weird, it's got little sections in it. This top section here is pretty good. I've bounced a couple of shots just above the gun there, so you've got the double layers of armour there. But you can see it's sort of weird. But generally speaking, close to the gun, there's only the one layer of armour. Away from the gun, there's not. If you are shooting at this tank, just to probably avoid the mantlet, shoot below it or above it anyway if you can. Or if you've got to shoot the mantlet, shoot it very close to the gun. I did notice a couple of times when I had to, I just went right up to tanks and pushed my tank right into them, and they did try and shoot through my mantlet and bounced. I bounced a couple of times like that by just butting right up against their tank. So that is a tactic you can use if you're in a very close fight and you haven't got much chance, you're about to die, just ram up against them. And I did speak about the gun depression being 10 degrees. Just be aware that this, I'll stop this, this raised section at the back here means that when the gun passes this section, you pretty much have no gun depression at all out the back of the tank, because the gun just can't push down through this, of course. So yeah, you only have the good gun depression up until about this angle. Once you get past this angle, start going back, you lose your gun depression. So basically this tank is a hill fighter. You now have, which we haven't really had previously, a pretty nice wide mantlet that you can bounce shots off, even from tier 9 and some tier 10 tanks. You can bounce a couple of shells off that. So that's at least something that's better than its predecessors. Okay, let's get into the games.
Time to roll out.
Map is Hidden Valley, which is the new Japanese map. So it's quite apt on driving a Japanese tank. Tier 9 game, or there's only 3 tier 9s though on each team, and one of those is artillery. Fair bit of artillery in this game though, so I have to be careful if I'm out in the open. Most of the rest of the tanks are tier 8, a couple of tier 7s, and we both have a tier 5 ELC scout tank. There he goes there, our one. He does a good job of scouting, that guy actually. Or girl. Could be a girl. Do any girls play World of Tanks? I think a few do. Probably not many. Now, so the tank, I've upgraded the turret and the gun, but nothing else is upgraded on this so far. So it's all just stock suspension, radio, and engine. The engine doesn't improve performance that much anyway. I might just speed up a bit here. Not real sure where to go on this map, but I figure anywhere with hills is good since I've got good gun depression. Okay, I've slowed down now. We've got a shot here. Didn't aim it that well, and it was never going to penetrate at that angle anyway, I don't think. Can't get a shot on that ELC, and somebody else takes it out anyway. Keep waiting for this guy to come out again, but he's looks like he's a bit too clever for that. I decide I've got to actually move up now. I'm not getting any action here. So we're 2.5 minutes in. I've fired one shot, but it wasn't really a serious shot. So we need to get something happening. Can't quite get the shot there. I've been spotted, so I've got 6 cents on this tank. The commander has 6 cents, and the other guys are split between repairs and camouflage. I take a bit of a chance coming right out here to get a shot on that 50T. I then move back, keep the tank moving because there's so much artillery I can't afford to stand still. SU-152, get a hit there, nice hit there. The ELC AMX is up there spotting everyone for us, which is great. He spotted artillery up there, and now another artillery. So we need to try and hit some of them now when he's spotting them. That guy just disappeared, so blind fire where I think it was. Trying to use this bush as a bit of cover as well. Unfortunately that arty's behind the building. Oh, somebody got that one. You can see there's guys on my left moving in, so I figure I'll move in as well, since anybody who's shooting will be distracted.
Enemy armor is damaged.
It's a very good gun, but it doesn't do, being a medium tank, doesn't do a lot of damage. I've only got one top gun in this tank. I've got about 8 Confederates though, so you can damage a lot of tanks. It's just hard to kill them because it takes so many shots. Just trying to destroy cover there a little bit. He's popped up on scope again. Oh, bit of bad luck there. That hit the wreck in front. Unfortunately, our teammate passes in front of us at the crucial time. The guy had been angled away. We've been spotted now, and we finally got him. So now we can help out with this Tiger 2. I decided since I've got backup, I'm just going to rush the guy. I won't be able to pull back over the hill in time anyway, so unfortunately he gets me. I thought this VK would just... oh, he's still flying, it's alright. He gets another one into me. Luckily the building blocks his shot there. This is good. The VK is still helping out, so I only need to pop out whenever I think he's not aiming at me. And the VK finishes him off. Good teamwork. So we have got 4 tanks left. They have 3. Our artillery's done a good job, he's got 3 kills. So you can see my gun's been damaged, one of the hits I took there. So my accuracy probably won't be that good at range, I need to get close. Alright, he's dead now. Now we've only got 2 tanks and they've got 3 tanks. So it was a quick turnaround there. So it's just myself and the VK left against tier 9 and 2 tier 8s. VK decides to turn back. I decide to play chicken with the T-34. That was a terrible shot. I think I panicked a little bit. Oh, someone's actually typed in the comments, VK help us too. Okay, so he tracked me, but I hit him and tracked him. I figure my reload's a bit quicker. So I aim at his cupola and we managed to get that shot in, which was lucky. Missed that one, he got me. I'm in trouble now, I've only got 17 health left. Our VK might have done the right thing. He's capping with 38%. If I can just hold these guys off a little bit longer. I did manage to penetrate him, but I managed to outmaneuver him. Someone's typed in the comments, go for track. Well, unfortunately I was moving and I shot. But we've got him now anyway. VK also gets a shot into him, and we managed to finish him off. And I've been hit by a T-30, which is not good. Somehow it didn't penetrate. It looks like my tracks ate it. I used up my repair kit, my second repair kit, and we're 81%, 82% cap. %, cap, 99. The VK's done it. There you go. So that was a fun game. We got our Class 2 Mastery badge. Very happy with that. Good fun, that game. Let's go on to the next screen. And we finished on top for experience, which was great, and on top for damage on our team, but on the other team the T-34 actually did more damage. But other than that, we finished second for damage overall. Yeah, good game. And the final screen, you can see we fired 25 shots, 17 of those were direct hits, and of those 17, 15 penetrated. We did 3,329 damage, which was very good. We received 5 hits, all 5 of those hits penetrated. That said, I think one of them only hit my tracks, didn't kill me. I was very lucky there. Potential damage received 2190, yep. Enemies damage 6, destroyed 3, I'm very happy with that. A little bit of spotting damage as well. And because of the expense of my repair kits, 11,500, we didn't make a lot of profit. And you do use a lot of repair kits on this tank because the modules get damaged so much. Yeah, so 1132 raw experience, which is great, and ended up with premium 1698. Very happy with that. On to the next game.
Time to roll out.
Alright, the map is Mines. It's a tier 10 match, quite a few tier 10 tanks. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tier 10 tanks on the enemy team, and a further 3 tier 9s, the rest are tier 8s. So, a bit of a tough game for this tank, but gives you a good idea of how it performs at this tier. I am not even going to try and get up the hill. I don't have quite enough oomph, and the tank has no armor whatsoever, so I'll just get blown to pieces. So I'm going to try and just pick off anyone else who's going up there, like this guy.
Enemy armor is damaged.
I have to maneuver because I can't afford to take hits in this thing. T125, so we get another hit into it, and
Fuel tank is hit.
oh, he's fuel tanks, he's on fire. Very nice. That was a stroke of luck. Now, I make a bit of a mistake here. I decide to come out. I really want to get a shot on this tank, which misses, goes into the dirt, and I get hit by a T110E4 on the way back. He tracks me, so I use a repair kit straight away because I don't want to get caught out there. 772 damage, and that is the problem with these tanks. You know, you're trying to do 230 damage, and then someone else does 770 to you. It's like, yeah. Now, amazingly, the only damage he did to me was my tracks. Normally, a shot like that sort of a shot from a tank like that would wreck me. So I was pretty lucky. Now the enemy is in the cap, but we're managing to hold them there. Now notice we've actually managed to get up the hill and take the hill now, and we've got a couple of tanks down here, so I think I'm not really required here anymore. So I go and have a look, see anything else I can do, and then I notice this T-54 over here. He's come up a bit close for my liking. So it looks like they've pretty much taken control of the island and made their way across. There they are, and they're wasting our guys on the hill there near our base.
Penetration.
So I would have been spotted, and yes, my 6th sense has gone off, so pull back straight away into cover. Fortunately, there's no artillery in this game, so I can afford to just pull back and hide there. Now I'm pretty sure he didn't see me. I think he just guessed where I was then when he took that shot. He just guessed that I would be there.
Critical hit.
Bit of bad luck there not to get any damage, other than just a critical hit. Game's still fairly even. We've lost 3 tanks, they've lost 2 tanks. Just being patient here, waiting for him to come out. Our tank's now chasing him down. IS-7. Don't know what the hell happened to that shot. Didn't hit anyway. Another miss. Bit of bad luck. Get him with that one though. So they're capping again, and we're not challenging them at the moment. Oh, we must have hit them because it dropped back from 54 to 19. I don't, it's going berserk. It's flashing between 19 and 54. Something wrong there. Huh. That's weird. Alright, so I decide I want to go up here now where the lighthouse is. Just being a little bit careful, I don't know if there's more tanks there. Trying to use cover where I can, concealment, just in case. I might speed this up a little bit, so I'll move it at 2 times now. I'm just trying to be cautious, stopping here. Wait for my binoculars to kick in. Can't see anyone. So I figure it's safe to move off, but I still want to try and have as much cover as possible while I'm moving. Still at 2 times speed here. Now I decided to go up around the back here, just in case there's any of their tanks camped up around the back here. Sometimes tanks hang around just around here, and around this corner here. There's nothing there. Now we can see down into the cap area. Highest floor, whoops, it's still 2 times speed, I'll slow it down.
That one didn't go through.
He can't see me. I'm just too far away from him.
We didn't even scratch them. Enemy is hit.
Finally get one in. We got one on his front plate while he was partially angled to me, which makes his plate pretty flat.
We didn't
But I'm not
even
having
scratch them.
any luck with the side of his tank.
That one didn't go through.
I really should switch to premium ammo, but I don't know.
We
I don't
didn't
know why I didn't,
penetrate their armor.
but I should have. Alright, someone else nails him, thank God, because we weren't having any luck. The tank is fully upgraded now, so it's got the top engine, top suspension, top radio, top gun. Okay, so we've got an FV-215B, terrible tank, and he managed to get a shot on me. I didn't think he was facing me, but he was. He's being a rear-mounted turret, it just threw me off. I thought I was looking at the back of his tank, and I must have been looking at the front of his tank. I should know, I've got one. Oh dear. Doesn't have real good armour, but against the tier 8 it's not too bad. So he's facing me. I thought I had the rear of his tank, but he's actually facing me.
That one bounced.
So I should have gone for his lower plate, but I really don't know what. I can see it plain as day now, but when I was playing the game I thought that was the rear of his tank. I thought he was pointing at the other guys. Okay, the E75 moving up on me now.
Enemy is hit.
Got a shot into him. Didn't light up, which is good. Didn't see me. Alright, now we've got the rear. Oh, that's the side of his turret anyway. Oh, he's facing this way, and then what he's doing is he's just reversing
Enemy
it,
is hit.
because using his rear turret so he doesn't have to stick as much of his tank out there to shoot at them.
We didn't
He's
even
backing up.
scratch them.
There's no armor on the back of it though, unfortunately for him. Now I've been spotted. I know that the E-75 is looking straight at me,
Gotcha.
but I stayed there because I wanted to get that shot into the FV-215B. And you can see up the top there we did actually get it. So we nailed the FV-215B, but it was the wrong thing to do. I should have, as soon as I lit up, just moved back and just stayed alive and kept going, because you can just see there another one of our tanks just got wasted. So I did the wrong thing. Okay, so we ended up losing that game in part because of my error then. I should have moved back when A-75 was had me spotted, and maybe I could have got out of the way in time. Anyway, we didn't do too bad considering we were tier 8 in a tier 10 match. Let's have a look at the next screen. And we actually came second on experience for our team. And it's not a bad amount of experience, 650 for a losing game. So I'm pretty happy with that. Actually, that FV-215B did pretty well. He did 4,500 damage. Okay, so we fired 25 shots. 20 of those were direct hits. Of those, 12 penetrated. We bounced a lot off that IS-4 and some off that FV-215B as well. We did 2,829 damage, which is pretty good in this tank. Hits received 3, all of them penetrated, which, yeah, you're always going to get penetrated unless they hit your mantlet. Potential damage received, yep, okay. Spotted 2, damaged 5, destroyed 2, still pretty good. Base defense 0.6, and we made a small amount of money. We used one of our repair kits. There you go. Thank you for watching my review of the STA-1. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more reviews, I will keep reviewing these Japanese line. Please subscribe to ReginaldESQ. And if you like this one also, please give it a thumbs up, a like, because it does help increase the popularity of the site. Other than that, have fun.